everybody, DF here, and welcome to Beauties and Beasts, the podcast for all things Beauty and the Beast. If there's a beauty, if there's a beast, then I'm going to talk about it. Disney may have made the best-known film version of Beauty and the Beast, twice I might add, but the animation studio to win the award for biggest number of unconventional couples would have to go to DreamWorks. I mean, we've had lots of beautifully weird couples, from an ogre and a princess to a donkey and a dragon, giraffe and a hippo, cat and a skunk, cockroach mutant and a giantess. No, wait, that last one's not canon. Sorry, bad case of shippingitis. The point is, DreamWorks is not afraid to push the boundaries of romantic relationships. Some of them very sweet, while others questionable. B-movie. But my personal favorite DreamWorks couple, coming from my favorite DreamWorks movie, is between an alien and a human, Megamind and Roxanne from the movie Megamind. Seriously, without this movie, I never would have gotten into the world of fanfiction. It had the perfect balance of everything: action, humor, romance, a compelling cast of characters, and an endearing couple I could get behind. Yes, I even thought it was better than Shrek. If you're curious, my Megamind fanfics are still available on fanfiction.net under the username DisneyFanatic2364. It's really hard for me to believe this movie will be celebrating its 10th anniversary this year, meaning I've been in the fanfic business for almost 10 years now. Wow, time flies.
We all know it's a tale as old as time, 'cause we've heard it over and over again.
I'd like to thank everybody who donated to the live streams and bought Redbubble merchandise back in November and December. And a shout out to my patrons, Anime Guy 1101 and TyrannosaurusVenom, for their continuing support. Thanks to your collective generosity, we were able to raise $46.51 for the Make-A-Wish Foundation. I rounded the donation up to $50. The money will go to granting wishes of kids with terminal illnesses, so you've made some kids very, very happy. In this new year, I hope to save up for a green screen so that my YouTube vlogs will become more interesting. Thanks to donations of the past year, I was able to get a new recording booth and also a new webcam. But the ultimate goal for me is to move out of my parents' basement, as I don't earn enough to pay for rent at the moment. Stupid minimum wage and rent control that don't really coincide with each other. Although this recording closet is pretty nifty. To become a patron, click the green button in the right-hand corner of the screen, or follow the link in the description below if you're listening on YouTube, and pledge at least $1 a month. Patron perks will include access to episode previews, and early access to new episodes, and bonus episodes, sneak peeks of my other side projects, including the novel I'm working on. Or if you can't make a monthly commitment, that's okay. You can also buy my merchandise on Redbubble under the name DisneyFanatic23. I have a new version of the Beauties and Beasts logo available, as well as merchandise with my YouTube avatar on it. Or you can contribute to the monthly live streams. There will be a one around Valentine's Day, so stay tuned. Patrons will be given priority for those who want to call in. So, back in 2010, when the trailers for Megamind first came out, I thought, oh, this might be fun. I totally didn't think I was going to become full-on obsessed for the next 3 years or so, but the movie went beyond my expectations, especially the Beauty and the Beast type subplot. Alright, so spoiler warning, if you haven't seen this movie, you really should, as it has a lot of twists and turns that you would not expect from most of the trailers. So, in a pretty thorough Act 1 type introduction, we start out with Megamind narrating about the bad day he's having and how he is falling to his death. Writing tip, that's how you make a good hook. He starts summing up his tragic villain backstory, which is actually pretty similar to Superman's backstory. How when he was 8 days old, his planet was being destroyed, so his parents sent him off in a pod with his fish minion to take care of him, and was told that he was destined for... Pod shuts before he can hear the rest. Destined for what? At the same time, another pod is launched from another planet with a much more human-like alien baby, Superman knockoff, soon to be called Metro Man. So, baby Metro Man lands in a wealthy home in Metro City while baby Megamind lands in a prison yard. Fate is cruel, isn't it? The two meet again in Shul, as Megamind calls it, because he doesn't get out much and pronounces some words wrong. Little Metro Man wows everyone with his powers. So much for secret identities, huh? While Megamind is initially judged by his giant blue head and orange prison jumpsuit, which I guess the prison just happened to have on hand. They couldn't get normal kid clothes. He's a kid, hello. And his inventions, probably due to them sometimes blowing up. And that's where he decides that being bad is the one thing he's good at, and that he was destined to be a supervillain. So flash forward to when Megamind and Metro Man are both adults. They have gone through many battles, Megamind losing all of them. On Metro Man Day, in the opening of the Metro Man Museum, Megamind kidnaps lovely and intelligent reporter Roxanne Ritchie, Metro Man's supposed girlfriend, who has been kidnapped so many times that she's really more amused than frightened. Okay, fun fact, when I first watched this movie, I was in a theater in Romania at the time, and when Minion had said that all of Megamind's equipment came from an outlet store in Romania, the theater just burst out laughing. So I'm really glad that I was there at the time I first watched the movie. So, in this elaborate plan, Megamind baits Metro Man to an abandoned observatory while his death ray is warming up. And Metro Man claims that copper, the metal lining the dome, drains his powers, and that he can't escape. And then, boom! Observatory is destroyed, Kate's skeleton comes flying out, and the bad guy has won. Yeah, this part blew my mind. Within the first 10 minutes of the movie, and already we got a unique twist on the superhero formula. Seriously, this is way better than a Marvel movie. So Megamind takes over Metro City, or Metrocity as he calls it, goes running rampant through the streets, and then quickly becomes bored because there's no one there to stop him. One night, while paying respects to Metro Man in his museum and subsequently blowing it up because it reminds him too much of the past, he bumps into Roxanne, who is also paying her respects. Embarrassed to be caught in his pajamas, he uses his holowatch to disguise himself as museum director Bernard. Roxanne, thinking she's talking to Bernard, then says something about heroes not being born but made, and inadvertently giving Megamind the idea to create a new hero by extracting the powers from Metro Man's DNA and putting it into an infuser gun. Before Megamind can decide who to give Metro Man's powers to, he gets a call from Roxanne through Bernard's phone, which he'd picked up after disintegrating the real Bernard. Boy, this plot is more intricately detailed than I thought it would be. And she says that she's found Megamind's secret hideout, and she's literally outside right now. So in a hilarious effort to steer her away from discovering his secrets, Megamind switches between being Bernard and himself, resulting in the infuser gun going off and hitting Roxanne's love-struck cameraman, Hal Stewart, named after two Green Lanterns, trivia for you comic nerds. And also resulting in Megamind/Bernard earning a hug from Roxanne, which he unexpectedly enjoys. Tale as old as time. So, disguised as a Marlon Brando-type space dad, Megamind trains Hal to be his new nemesis, all while romancing Roxanne as Bernard. Due to her influence, Megamind starts cleaning up the city and returning all the stuff he stole, just to make her happy. And learns that she and Metro Man actually were never a couple, and he was never really her type. You can imagine Megamind dancing for joy in his head. Minion, Sue figures out that the boss has been slowly falling in love with Roxanne and tries to convince him that it's a bad idea, cause the bad guy never gets the girl. And then Megamind declares passionately, "Maybe I don't want to be the bad guy anymore." And the fight leads to Minion leaving and Megamind deciding that he just wants to be normal Bernard. Meanwhile, Roxanne uncovers Megamind's secret plan involving Titan, aka Hal, who just shows up at her balcony and takes her for a flight around town, almost killing her in order to rescue her. Yeah, don't take romantic advice from Superman. Hal takes off his mask, Roxanne rejects him, and Hal leaves her atop a tower all alone. Wait, how the hell did she get down from that thing? There was no obvious ladder, and she was way too far up from the top window. This poor girl, always getting roped into the affairs of superpowered beings. Well, she somehow magically gets down from the tower and arrives for her dinner date with Bernard at a fancy restaurant. She shares what she's figured out about Megamind, but he just distracts her with a smooth, "let's enjoy each other's company" line. Neither of them see a heartbroken Hal hovering at the window watching them. Megamind asks Roxanne if she would still like him if he wasn't so normal. And she says, "Of course, you don't judge a book by its cover or a person by their appearance. You judge them based on their actions." And as they share a kiss, Roxanne's hand unintentionally touches his holowatch, causing his disguise to fall. People start screaming in the restaurant. Roxanne opens her eyes in shock and storms out of the restaurant all upset. He chases after her in his invisible car in the rain, and he says, "What about everything you just said about judging a book by its cover?" And she lists every evil thing he's ever done and asks, "What could you possibly hope to gain from tricking me like that?" And he gives her this sad look, and that's enough for her to figure it out. And Roxanne goes, "Did you really think I would ever be with you?" And Megamind says in this broken voice, "No." And then she leaves, and he leaves, and she looks back, and oh my god, I'm sorry, this scene just really hits me in the feels every single time. He's just so sad, and she still has feelings, and he has feelings, and they're perfect together, but he also lied to her, and he loves her, and then... Okay, I'm good. So, now that he's lost his best friend and the girl of his dreams, Megamind returns to his evil, empty lair, deciding wholeheartedly to be the villain he's always been. So he goes out in his battlesuit, challenging Titan, but Hal doesn't show. Instead, Megamind finds Titan playing video games in his apartment, surrounded by stolen stuff. And Titan goes into this whole rant about how he only became the hero so he could win Roxanne, and Megamind's putting the pieces together, and Titan suggests that they team up. Megamind, not liking this idea, provokes Titan, telling him the whole truth about his creation and that Megamind is the guy that has been dating Roxanne this whole time. Enraged, Titan fights Megamind, almost killing him in the process. As a failsafe, Megamind encases Titan in copper, but it doesn't work, he just punches right through it. So with Megamind on the run, Titan becomes the new evil overlord of Metro City. Megamind flees to Roxanne, begging for her help. And though she is still mad, she agrees, if only to stop Titan from destroying the city. To find Titan's weakness, Roxanne takes Megamind to Metro Man's secret hideout, which turns out to be the old Shul house. On the drive, Megamind admits that he lost a diffuser gun that could take away Titan's powers when he had misplaced the invisible car the night she had dumped him, alone, in the rain. And then asks if she had looked back, and she says no. This will be important later, I swear. In the hideout, they find not only Metro Man's stuff, but Metro Man himself, alive and well. Gosh, this movie has so many twists. Seriously, eat your heart out, Marvel. Apparently, Metro Man was tired of being a hero and had faked his death to being a musician, a tone-deaf one at that. Seeing Metro Man won't be of any help, Roxanne insists that she and Megamind face Titan. But Megamind just goes, "I'm the bad guy. I don't save the day, I don't fly off into the sunset, and I don't get the girl." And then he goes and turns himself into prison. Roxanne, having no one else to turn to, tries reasoning with Titan, only for him to kidnap her and use her as bait to lure Megamind for a final battle. And Megamind sees Roxanne in trouble on TV, and she pleads, "The Megamind that I knew would never have run from a fight, even if he knew he had no chance of winning, and that she needed him." Megamind pleads to the warden to let him out, saying that he is sorry and agrees that even though he's done all these horrible things, Roxanne and the city shouldn't have to pay for his misdeeds. And the warden lets him out, but turns out to be Minion in disguise the whole time, who has forgiven him. So Megamind, in an awesome fashion, frees Roxanne, only to end up being impaled by a building. And then Metro Man shows up, but turns out Megamind was really Minion, and Metro Man was really Megamind. Gosh, I love this movie! But Titan is not easily fooled, and he's about to kill the real Megamind when Roxanne notices the invisible car. And she tells Megamind that she did look back and that he should look back right now. He makes it to the car, finds a gun, only for it to be warming up. Titan tosses him and the gun into the air, and we go back to the beginning with him falling to his death. But at the very last minute, Megamind dehydrates himself, falls into a fountain, rehydrates, catches the diffuser gun, and defuses the power from Titan. And then Roxanne's like, "You did it! You won!" And Megamind goes, "Well, I finally had a reason to win. You." Aww. I'm too much of a fangirl to be doing this right now. So, Minion is okay, Roxanne and Megamind get together, Hal is in jail, and Megamind becomes the city's new hero, facing absolutely no consequences from his 88 life sentences and the fact that he straight up murdered Metro Man as far as the city's concerned because they don't know that he is alive and... Wow, okay, as much as I love this movie, that is quite the plot hole there. Well, aside from that, this is an amazing movie. wonderful cast, Will Ferrell at his best. We have complex characters, showing that not everything is black and white. Even Titan, the film's antagonist, was, at the core, just an awkward guy with a crush that turned into an unhealthy obsession. And the guy who was at first painted to be the hero of the movie, we were actually made to dislike. Never mind being pompous and vain, he was selfish, leaving the city to fend for itself. You know, you could have just trained a new hero and then retired. Don't just up and leave. Hey, someone should write a fanfic about that. Wait, didn't I sort of do that? It has been years. The core of this film, what really carries it, is the relationship between Megamind and Roxanne. They clearly had a connection at first with playful, almost flirty banter. And even though he lies, it was through the Bernard disguise that they were able to get to know each other in a casual setting. And their relationship was not based on appearances. Megamind sees Roxanne as his intellectual equal, openly admitting that she is the smartest person he knows. And this is from a guy who has this giant brain, literally. And she ends up enjoying his humor and company and admits that she has always admired his perseverance. And kind of liked being kidnapped by him, which may bring up questions of Stockholm Syndrome. But, she was one of the few people who wasn't afraid of Megamind. And Megamind just wanted to be treated like everyone else, and Roxanne was the first to give him that. It's a shame that we never got a spin-off series or a sequel, unlike How to Train Your Dragon and Shrek and all that. It's a missed opportunity. We could have seen Megamind grow as a hero and also his relationship with Roxanne develop more. That would have been great. Well, that's what fanfics are for. And writing fanfics for this movie in particular helped me learn about characterization and developing relationships, both platonic and romantic. Starting out with some pre-established characters, and from that, developing new ones. Now, here I am, almost a decade later, having finished the second draft of my new original novel, and have the fanfic world to thank for that. Speaking of fanfics, February 13th will be a special episode for Valentine's Day, where I will be discussing the ships of another big fandom I'm a part of, My Little Pony: Friendship is Magic. Particularly the now canon ship, Flittercord, which I totally called back in Season 3. If you like this episode and want to hear more, follow the podcast on Podbean, subscribe on YouTube, become a patron today, buy merchandise, or join the next live stream. Until next time, and watch out for spiders. You know what? I'll leave the evil laughs to Will Ferrell.